Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another TikTok conspiracy theories video for you guys. Y'all already know I love TikTok. I am always on that fucking app, and there are some really great conspiracies on there, and you guys really love these videos, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first TikTok that I want to talk about comes from the Jumpers Jump. You guys already know, if you watch any of my videos of TikTok conspiracy theories, you know I love Jumpers Jump. They just are fun. They're fun. Silly, goofy mood. And they post really cool conspiracy theories, but they posted this one theory about brands who are essentially lying to us that I found to be very interesting.
You know those Walmart brands? There's like Great Value and then the regular brand, right? So we have Cool Whip and then have regular whipped cream. Did you know it's made by the same company?
The Great Value and the
Cool Whip. What Great Value does, they go to the same manufacturer, fam, and they just get it made cheaper without that brand name. The canned veggies. The big name brand is Green Giant, made by Green Giant. Even the Great Value
is made by Green.
Same shit. Cereal, same thing. There's this store called Aldi in the States. Now this store is known for like, we have the best products that match up to the big name brands. That's how they promote their store. If you go into Aldi, they have this brand called Millville, and all of their cereals are offshoots of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, offshoots of Cookie Crisp, offshoots of Rice Krispies, and they look so similar, all by Millville. The real name brand is made by General Mills. They dug deep and found out that Millville is the same thing as General Mills. It's the exact same. They've been lying this whole time.
Wait, but they taste the same or no?
They taste the exact same.
No, they don't. No,
they taste the exact same.
So they basically explain the conspiracy theory that when you go to Walmart and get Great Value branded items, you're actually buying the legit item. Genuinely exact same product as the name brand stuff. I did not know that this stuff was made by the same company by any means whatsoever. This theory is kind of crazy because it seems to be that it is true that we are literally paying for name brand, which I always kind of thought, because, you know, we've all tried the off-brand shit, but we convince ourselves that it doesn't taste as good as the name brand stuff. I guess it's the placebo effect. I don't know, bro. I am so angry about this theory. It's not even a theory at this point. It's true, and it's just another way that all of these companies can manipulate us. So that's fun. I found the next theory to be incredibly interesting. It was posted by this TikTok user who talked about the conspiracy theory that the Titanic actually sunk on purpose. I had never really delved into this theory. I've heard the idea of it, but honestly, I just never thought to believe it until now. So obviously the Titanic famously sank in 1912 after hitting an iceberg. Many people actually believe the possibility that the Titanic sinking was actually not an accident. So there's a theory that JP Morgan sunk the Titanic. And the reason that he did so was to eliminate the other millionaires like Isidore Straus and Benjamin Guggenheim and Jacob Astor. So you might be like, why did he want to kill all these billionaires? Well, JP Morgan himself, obviously a billionaire as well, and he was supposed to be on the Titanic. He ended up last minute not going on the ship. If you're wondering what JP Morgan's motive would have been, it actually makes a lot of sense. So the other millionaires who we mentioned earlier that were on board the Titanic actually opposed the idea of a Federal Reserve Bank that JP Morgan wanted to create. I mean, if you think about it in the sense of the richest people all being in the same place at once and the boat sinks, it does sound kind of suspicious. It's believed that the Rothschilds were also a part of this conspiracy and that they wanted the Titanic to sink as well because they also wanted to be part of the Federal Reserve Bank. When Astor, Strauss, and Guggenheim disagreed with them, they used the Titanic, which by the way, the Rothschilds and the JP Morgans all had ownership in the company that owned the Titanic. They used the sinking of this boat to wipe out all the billionaires that disagreed with them. By doing this, the Rothschilds and JP Morgans were able to open the Federal Reserve Bank with no opposers. I mean, I just think it's kind of crazy that the Rothschilds and the Morgans were literally scheduled to go on the Titanic, and then at the last minute, they just back out. And the very next year, in 1913, that was when they started the Federal Reserve Bank. And like I said, since all of their opposers were now dead from the Titanic, they were able to do this with ease. I just think it's a really interesting conspiracy theory because I feel like, well, no, I don't feel like, I know money can really buy a lot of shit and it can make people do really stupid things, and it freaks me out genuinely. But that kind of power hierarchy really freaks me out, but I think it's interesting nonetheless because You know, these are like the richest people in the world at the time, and it's like the early 1900s. Like, I feel like they could have gotten away with so much more than you would be able to today. So what do you think? Do you think that the Titanic sinking was an accident, or do you think that something darker could have been going on? Let me know. All right, let's lighten the mood a little bit. I love this TikTok that I saw about cats. I like cats. I can't lie. I still am. I love dogs. I always grew up with dogs. But then my roommate had a cat and I was like, wait. I've also always felt like cats are psychic, and this TikTok was super interesting to me.
The cats are different. Remember, everything is energy. The cats can see things we can't see. When they look at you or look at another person, they don't see you first. First they see an energy, then it forms into a person. How many of you have watched cats staring at things you can't see?
So I think this cutie woman is so sweet, and I low-key believe her theory, especially because cats have a long history with being associated with witchcraft and the occult and just magical things in general. I think that it's a really interesting concept that they are actually psychics. I do feel like cats will be staring at literally nothing. And also, I feel like they can just see right through you. Like, they just know what you're thinking. It's kind of scary, but it's also kind of cool. I also think that it makes sense why, like, the lore of black cats being, you know, bad luck came into play is because how much, you know, society in like the 1800s hated witches. A lot of times cats were involved, like specifically the black cat, and that's why it was seen as bad luck. The media and society in general has a way of making us stay away from things or be afraid of things that are actually like smarter than them because it freaks them out. I mean, just theoretically, if magic were real and witches were real, which I low-key believe, why wouldn't the like higher ups, the government, whatever, want everyone to be afraid of that and want everyone to be scared of the black cat and the witches and XYZ if it wasn't real? And I find the theory that cats being psychic or being used for witchcraft in a way is very interesting theory. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I just thought this was a cute little theory. I feel like people who don't like cats, it is kind of like a weird vibe if you don't like them. Like, why? Why are you scared of them? They're so cute. The next conspiracy theory has to do with 9/11 and celebrities who missed 9/11 by just a hair. So there are 3 pretty major celebrities who have stories about how they missed 9/11. Basically, like, they were either supposed to be in the plane or in the Twin Towers the morning of 9/11, and they missed it by like just such strange circumstances that people have conspiracies around it. First celebrity is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson actually had a meeting in the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001, and he actually stayed up all night talking to his mom and his siblings on the phone. So he subsequently slept in and missed his meeting. His family didn't even know Michael was scheduled to be in the Twin Towers that day, which honestly is really good because I can't even imagine how scary that would have been for his family. Like, if they like thought that he was there and he wasn't answering the phone, it would have been really scary. I mean, for anyone, that obviously that happened to a lot of people and it's just terrifying. Michael was woken up by his hotel being called. And it was his mother asking if he was okay. And Michael was like, oh my gosh, you literally saved my life because I was supposed to have a meeting at the World Trade Center and I missed it because I was on the phone with you all night, which is pretty freaking crazy. The next celeb is Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg was actually scheduled to fly on American Airlines Flight 11, which was the first plane that crashed into the Twin Towers. Mark Wahlberg and his whole family were supposed to be on that flight to Los Angeles, but Mark Wahlberg ended up deciding last minute to go to the Toronto Film Festival. Years later, which I don't love, Mark Wahlberg claimed that had he been on that flight that 9/11 wouldn't have happened, or at least that flight would not have crashed into the World Trade Center because he would have landed it safely. I mean, like, okay, why'd you say that? Like, out loud? That is such a weird fucking thing to say. But whatever. He literally said, quote, there would have been a lot of blood in that first class cabin. Like, just so desensitized to like whatever. Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, was also supposed to be on Flight 11 to Los Angeles from Boston. Seth was actually out drinking the night before and he overslept and was headed to the airport. But at the same time, his assistant also told him that the flight was scheduled to leave 10 minutes later than it actually was. So Seth MacFarlane had gone to the airport, checked his bags, everything ready to go on this flight, and he missed the plane by about 10 minutes. like I said, because the assistant said the wrong time. So Seth booked another flight to Los Angeles and decided to take a nap in the airport lounge when he woke up to the hysteria after the plane had crashed into the tower. This was when Seth realized that that was his plane he was literally supposed to be on, and he told the bartender, like, oh my god, that's my plane, like I was supposed to be on that flight. And the bartender gave him a shot. So a lot of people wonder whether these three celebrities, you know, had a lucky coincidence that they missed this tragic event, or if they, because they were famous, had some sort of intel that something bad was going to happen. Obviously, everyone has talked about the theory that 9/11 was an inside job, that the government did XYZ, whatever. We're not getting into all that today. But assume that that's true and that it was an inside job. I guess the theory continues that the elite / the Illuminati, aka celebrities and other people who are in the public eye, would be kind of let in on this information that something terrible was about to happen. This is true. Maybe they didn't even know exactly what was going to happen, but they knew something bad was going to happen, so they were like, it's kind of like a stay inside kind of day. I don't know what I believe. I do think that it is a weird coincidence, because these are three major celebrities. Like, I mean, especially Michael Jackson is, like, quite literally one of the biggest celebrities ever. I also think if you're from New York, you probably get this, but you always hear stories about how people were supposed to be in the Twin Towers that day. They missed a train, they missed their flight, they missed their meeting, like whatever the case may be, they were late to work. So many different stories like that. So like obviously in a building where so many people are working and constantly at all the time, like you hear stories like that, that it makes sense that there would be people who were supposed to be there but weren't. Is it weird that it happened to be three major celebs? 100%. I don't know what it means though. I would like to hear you guys' theories on this, because honestly, like, it's just weird. It is weird. Especially, Seth MacFarlane's is like the craziest story to me. Do you think that these celebrities missing the tragic events of 9/11 was a coincidence, or do you think something darker is going on? Let me know. All right, the next TikTok I want to talk about is all about Britney Spears and Brittany Murphy. Britney Spears had a mansion at the top of Sunset, and Britney hired a Reiki healer, and she swears that he opened some portal because after that point, there was just really scary shit that was happening. Britney Spears claimed that there was demons in the house that were trying to hurt her, and that she was pushed down the stairs, and just crazy shit. It was so bad that Britney Spears literally left the house with all of her furniture still in it and just sold it. But what's interesting is that Britney Spears sold it to none other than Brittany Murphy. As you guys probably know, Brittany Murphy actually sadly passed away in 2009 under really extremely confusing circumstances. I have a whole video on Brittany Murphy if you guys want to check it out. She has one of the most interesting and upsetting like celebrity deaths that I probably have ever come across, because it's just so confusing. Mostly because she passed away from really mysterious circumstances, and then 5 months later her husband Simon Monjack also passed away from the same circumstances, which was pneumonia and anemia. Although Brittany Murphy never claimed to see any spirits in the house, she did find that there was something off about it. Before her husband passed away, he told the media, quote, "She always hated the Rising Glen house. Every time we would drive up Sunset, Brittany would say, 'Can we please stay at the Beverly Hills Hotel?'" Her husband also claimed that Brittany believed that the property was unlucky, and she was planning for her and her husband to move to New York in 2010. Sadly, that never occurred, but a lot of people think that Brittany Murphy's death had to do with the home that her and Britney Spears both lived in that was allegedly super haunted or cursed. I don't even know the right word. The amount of times I've wanted to drive by this house, but I'm like too scared of it, is insane, because like I live here in California. I could drive by it and I really want to, but it also really freaks me out. Britney Spears actually recently talked about this on Instagram, which I found to be really interesting, because this was a theory that I had heard about, but I never knew Britney commented on it. She wrote, quote, "I saw this online today. Is anybody else curious? She died at 32. Just saying. P.S. I know this was a while ago, but come on, they are still investigating." I don't know. I think this is an interesting theory. I don't know exactly what happened to Brittany Murphy, but I really do hope they find out one day, because it is just heartbreaking and sad, and she's one of those people where I'm just like, she should still be here. Do you think that it has to do with the cursed house that Britney Spears once lived in? Do you think that that could be the reason that Britney is going through all the stuff that she's been going through? I don't know, but I do think that it's a very interesting theory. All right, if you don't like being scared of existential crises, skip ahead like 5 minutes because we're going to talk about a theory that really freaks a lot of people out. So this TikTok is all about the concept of solipsism.
This is solipsism. Right, so you are the only real person. Everyone around you is literally an NPC, so am I. Wait, what? This is what solipsism is, just have a little read. I believe that only one's mind is actually sure to exist, which is true. The scary thing about this is there is no way to prove or disprove this. Ever, ever, ever. So everything around you is fake, everybody around you is fake, only you are real. When you look at things, when you turn around, things just spawn in. But you are completely alone in this place, and everybody is just your brain's way of making you not feel so alone. Boom. Mind blown.
Solipsism is one of those terrifying conspiracy theories that I have been thinking about truly since I even knew what conspiracy theories were. It's just a crazy concept and it really fucks me up. Basically, you are the only person on Earth and everything takes place in your own mind. The people you love, the people you hate, the people you meet on a day-to-day basis that you never think about again, none of them actually exist, and you're the only person that's real. This theory gave me existential crises as a kid, literally all the time, because, I mean, it wasn't even, I didn't know it was a theory. It was just a thought that I had in, like, 2005, where I literally sat there and I was like, what if all of my friends and family are fake? Like, what if when I'm not with them, like, they literally don't exist? Which I know sounds like it's like self-centered, but I don't mean it to sound like that. It wasn't like, oh my god, because I'm the most important person, no one else exists. It's more like, am I fucking crazy? It's just the concept that like no one can prove or disprove to you that they exist, and that freaks me out. I'm not even saying this is a theory for just me. It could be you, it could be a person down the street, anyone who just has all of these worlds in their head that don't exist. This shit trips me out. It's not that I believe it, but I do think that like the concept of like us creating life in our head makes a little bit more sense than whatever the hell Big Bang Theory, what like the universe in general. Honestly, we got a lot of questions. So this kind of is like an answer that's interesting, is that like, it's really just imaginary and nothing is real. Or the theory that you're not even real, like, I'm not real, who's real? No, literally, I don't know. It honestly freaks me out so damn much. I actually refuse to think about it too much, because like I said, when there's like no way to prove or disprove it, it really freaks me out and keeps me up at night. But I just like have decided that this theory is not true. I remember as a kid like begging my friends and family to be like, please tell me you're really real, like, and you're not in my head, which just sounds crazy because it is, but like, bitch, there's no way to prove it. Whatever. The last two TikTok theories we're going to be talking about come from one of my fave users, Patty Pop Culture. He just has such good TikToks and such good conspiracy content. Definitely go check him out. This conspiracy theory about Beyonce really freaked me out.
Have you heard the crazy conspiracy theory that says every single time Beyonce begins one of her world tours, a massive music icon dies? This theory begins with the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Beyonce embarked on her I Am Sasha Fierce world tour starting in March 2009, and Michael Jackson died in June 2009. Right when Beyonce announced her The Miss Carter Show world tour in 2012, the queen of disco, Donna Summers, died. Then, right before embarking on that same world tour, queen of vocals, Whitney Houston, died. It gets crazier because in June 2014, when Beyonce and Jay-Z began their On the Run world tour, legend of soul music Bobby Womack died in June 2014. Literally right as Beyonce began her Formation World Tour in April 2016, Prince died, also in April 2016. Right after Beyonce and Jay-Z began their On the Run 2 World Tour in June 2018, Queen of Soul Aretha Franklin dies in August 2018. Seeing her pay tribute to a fallen music icon at each of her tours is getting a little bit eerie. Beyonce began her Renaissance World Tour in May 2023, and Tina Turner died in May 2023. And right on cue, Beyonce paid tribute to her.
It's essentially pointing out the fact, not even conspiracy, that every time Beyonce goes on tour, a giant music icon dies. I think this is kind of similar to the 9/11 coincidence conspiracy theory. Is like, is it just a coincidence? I don't know. The part of it that I find to be weird is the fact that they're huge music icons. It's not just like any celebrity, it's specifically musicians. And a lot of people think that Beyonce is like one of the main members of the Illuminati. And like the Illuminati is all about power, money, fame, and sacrifice. And I guess people think that it's a possibility that Beyonce made a deal with the devil that every time she embarks on a huge tour, another music legend will die. I also think that if the Illuminati is real, there probably is a lot of shit about it that we wouldn't understand that goes so deep, and it really freaks me out. All right, the last theory that we're going to be talking about has to do with none other than Miss Ariana Grande. So Ariana Grande is very well known for loving all things Halloweeny and spooky and ghostly, but in 2013 she probably took things a little too far. Ariana was on tour at the time in Kansas City, and she decided to go with her team and visit one of the most haunted cemeteries, the Stull Cemetery. Apparently this cemetery is so haunted that the Pope literally refuses to fly over it. So as Ariana and her crew were pulling up to the cemetery, she just felt super bad energy, just like a swarm of negativity around her. And then the car started to smell like sulfur, which is apparently a sign of a demon. And then she also claims that there was a random fly in the car, which apparently is also a sign of a demon. As they approached the cemetery, they got so freaked out that they were just like, let's get the fuck out of here. Which is very unlike Ariana. Like I said, she is super into this kind of stuff. Before they left, Ariana rolled her window down to say that she was sorry to the spirits and she didn't want to disrupt their peace and that they were leaving, but she ended up taking a photo of the cemetery before she left. When Ariana went back and looked at the photo, there was 3 very clear as day faces just in the picture, and it terrified her. Ariana actually tried to send the photo as a text to her manager, Scooter Braun. Sorry, just wanted to say this really quick about Scooter Braun because I thought it was really funny. Obviously, like, he gives me the ick since the whole Taylor Swift thing, but I swear I was in Vegas. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was delusional as fuck at this point because I was so tired. And my friends were playing blackjack, and this man comes and sits down to play blackjack at the table, and I literally looked like I saw a ghost because I thought it was Scooter Braun. And I was like, I have to defend Taylor. Like, I have to pop off on him. And then also I realized that it wasn't Scooter Braun. Could you imagine if I would have just like popped off at a random man? Like, how could you do that to Taylor Swift? Anyway, so Ariana tried to send this photo to Scooter Braun. The text wouldn't send, and a message kept popping up on Ariana's phone that was said this file could not be sent, and it was 666 megabytes, which is obviously just really freaking creepy. Ariana kept feeling like she was being followed by demons because she would hear whispers and see disturbing red shapes all around her whenever she would shut her eyes. One night shortly after she went to the cemetery, when she was sleeping, she experienced sleep paralysis where she saw just this dark, shadowy figure over her on her bed, and it was terrifying because she couldn't move, which is just so freaking scary. So a lot of people think that Ariana is actually cursed because of this cemetery, and I believe it. I feel like that shit's scary. I don't fuck with it. I don't mess with the other side. Shit scares me like that. But Ariana actually got so scared that she deleted the picture and deleted all of the photo album that she had on her phone, which is just called Demons. She just like, the girl was crazy. She was always been crazy like that. She had pictures of fucking demons all over her phone at haunted places, like orbs and shit, but she just deleted it. She even had her energy cleared because of how scary it was for her. No. But I thought the theory is interesting. Do you think that people can get cursed? It's kind of like the Post Malone theory that we talked about in like 2 videos ago. And I don't know, I kind of believe it. A lot of people, I don't like talking about this because I feel like the stuff that happened to Ariana is like really tragic. You know, obviously Post Malone, like, yes, his plane, you know, almost crashing was scary, and his house being robbed is like scary things, but he was fine. But, like, obviously, from, like, 2015, 2018, a lot of tragic shit happened to Ariana Grande and the people around her. A lot of people thought that this demon shit had to do with that. But I don't know if I think that that's true. I do think that, like, something was fucking with her dreams, though, and making her hear whispering sounds. That's scary. I don't like it. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about these TikToks and these TikTok theories. And if you guys have any, you can tag me on TikTok as well. That is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week. And I will see you guys later. Bye.